Defense rests in the trial of Eric Sackett, who is accused of killing 35-year-old Aaron Somvilai. The defense wrapped up, but not before calling a witness that contradicts a prosecution expert who testified earlier this week. News 8's Alex Giannakopoulos tells us how the defense worked to poke holes in the prosecution's case.
Last week, the prosecution called pathologist Ross Reichard to the stand. According to his expert opinion, Aaron Somvilai's death was caused by homicidal violence.
This is not natural, not accident, not self-inflicted.
But today, the defense called their own expert in for a second opinion.
Suicide to me is the most likely.
Pathologist Lindsay Thomas came to that conclusion after seeing little to no damage to Somvilai's neck muscles. Thomas couldn't find a direct cause of death.
Does that indicate to you that this is a case that is inconsistent with strangulation?
Yes.
When Reichard testified, he could not prove a cause of death, but ruled out suicide considering how Somvilai's body was found.
You have someone who's deceased with ropes and a chain and concrete blocks attached to them in the bottom of a lake, a number of miles from the residence with no apparent means of getting to that location.
The prosecution echoed that statement, questioning how Somvilai got to the lake with 66 pounds of cement blocks with no evidence that she traveled by car or walked.
She would have had to carry them presumptively with her hands, 66 pounds, not leaving any marks on her hands from these rough blocks. Is that accurate?
Actually, she did have a bruise on her forearm, and when I've carried blocks like this, I don't carry them by hand, I carry them on my forearm.
But Thomas points to Somvilai's dark past as why suicide is the most likely means of death.
She had a past medical history of significant depression. She had some other psychiatric disorders. She had attention deficit disorder. She had post-traumatic stress disorder.
Could this same evidence have been used to make a determination of suicide by drowning?
Yes.
Would you, as a pathologist, with all of your experience, have felt comfortable making that finding?
Yes.
Reporting from La Crosse, Alex Giannakopoulos, News 8.
And the prosecution will have 4 to 6 rebuttal witnesses tomorrow. After those witnesses take the stand, both sides will give their closing arguments, and then the jury will begin their deliberations.